This is 6 News at 10.
Tonight on 6 News, clash of the candidates. Tonight's debate between Ted Cruz and Colin Allred is all wrapped up. We recap the moments to remember.
And honoring a local legend, how a bright new mural is remembering the bright life of Allison Dixon.
And a Salado supply store engulfed in flames. Hear what fire crews say was behind the blaze. It's all right here, right now on 6 News at 10. Good evening and thanks for joining us for KCEN. And for those streaming on 6 Plus, I'm Bailey Bates.
So glad you're here, everybody. I'm Kris Radcliffe. Let's get right to our top story tonight. The whole state's talking about it. Well, on this Tuesday night, it was a fiery but decently respectful debate between incumbent Republican Senator Ted Cruz, looking for his third election to that department, and the Democratic candidate Congressman Colin Allred.
They faced off in their only debate in the U.S. Senate race in Dallas, and we brought it to you right here on KCEN and on 6 Plus. But if you missed it, we have the biggest takeaways right now.
Democrat Colin Allred.
Senator Ted Cruz and Representative Colin Allred squaring off in Dallas as they vie for Texans' votes for the U.S. Senate seat. In the first and only debate, the tone set quickly.
I've been the most bipartisan Texan in Congress. I'm the exact opposite of Senator Cruz, who's the most extreme senator in the United States Senate, maybe the most extreme in the last 30 years.
Colin Allred is going to try to say an awful lot of words that sound reasonable. But what he's not going to talk about is his own record or my record.
You could say things got chippy between the two, especially on certain topics like abortion.
In Texas, we overwhelmingly agree that late-term abortions in the 8th and 9th months, that's too extreme. And I'll tell you, in Texas, we overwhelmingly agree that taxpayer money shouldn't pay for abortions. Unfortunately, Congressman Allred's voting record rejects that Texas consensus.
Senator Cruz just looked into a camera and lied to Texans about my position. When I'm in the United States Senate, we'll restore a woman's right to choose. We'll make Roe v. Wade the law of the land again.
Or the border.
I believe in physical barriers as part of a comprehensive strategy to secure the border. Senator Cruz treats our border communities like he's going on some kind of a safari. He comes down, he puts on his outdoor clothes, he tries to look tough, and he goes back to Washington and does nothing to help.
I worked hand in hand with President Trump to secure the border, and we achieved incredible success. We produced the lowest rate of illegal immigration in 45 years.
And inflation.
The inflation caused by Kamala Harris and Colin Allred's spending binge is hurting Texans across the board. And I got to tell you, inflation has in particular been exacerbated by Kamala Harris and Colin Allred's war on energy and oil and gas in Texas.
Meanwhile, Allred says Cruz isn't helping all Texans.
Somebody who goes to the Ritz-Carlton in Cancun, do you really think he cares about inflation and about working families? When his entire career, he spent his time trying to cut taxes for the rich and not looking out for working folks. When I'm in the Senate, we'll have somebody who will try to represent all 30 million of us and make sure we keep a focus on lowering your costs everywhere we can.
Well, other topics touched on during the debate were foreign policy, transgender rights, and January 6th. The debate was exclusive to KCEN in the Central Texas area. And if you would like to watch the debate in its entirety, you can find it on the 6 Plus streaming app. You can get that on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV for free.
And now that you know more about the candidates' positions, we want to make sure and remind you that early voting starts Monday, October 21st. That's just 6 days from now. It runs through Friday, November 1st, with Election Day, of course, being Tuesday, November the 5th. During early voting, most Central Texas counties do allow voters to cast their ballot at any of the polling centers within the county, so very convenient. You can find your polling locations and check your registration at votetexas.gov.
Well, stepping back from those news headlines, we've been feeling the autumn heat recently, but changes could finally be coming our way. I haven't stepped outside in the last hour or two.
Well, another record today. Here to tell us a little more about these falling records, meteorologist Aviana Smith. How are things looking as we get deep into tonight, Aviana?
Well, Bailey and Kris, we're going to see temperatures at least drop off for our overnight lows, and windy conditions are picking up. For our overnight lows, expect mid to low 50s heading out the door early morning tomorrow. It will be a cool start to the day, and finally finally a cool afternoon awaits us all. But we have to get there though, and we did see record-breaking temperatures once again today. But for your Wednesday, we're going to see a big temperature drop as we await a cold front system pushing through. Again, a cool day tomorrow with the high of 73 degrees, along with some very gusty winds throughout the entire day on Wednesday. And we're already seeing those winds begin to pick up as we look towards the north. Wind speeds are already up to 23 miles per hour. That's where that front is positioned right now. It's going to make its way across our area through the overnight hours, and we'll see those winds increase some more. And I'll tell you how much more a little later in the show, so stick around to hear your full weather detail, because finally those summer-like feels are moving out and we can say hello to fall for real this time.
All right, changes on the way. Thank you so much, Aviana. Multiple Bell County fire departments are still at work tonight battling a large structure fire in Salado. The Bell County Fire Marshal Shane Gear tells 6 News it's the Salado Supply House, an appliance sales and repair shop that is on fire. Traffic is still being diverted on FM 1617 as crews finish putting out the flames. The fire started shortly after 4 o'clock when there were 3 workers inside. All were able to safely evacuate with no injuries. Gears tells 6 News the cause of the fire appears to be electrical, and he also says that the entire building is engulfed and is expected to possibly fully collapse.
Meanwhile, Waco police did make an arrest in a shooting that happened last night, leaving a man and a woman injured. We do want to tell you that police arrested 19-year-old Taiwan Hicks in connection to last night's shooting, which took place near Olive Street and Kings Highway. Neighbors said they heard many gunshots ring out nonstop. Hicks is being held in the McLennan County Jail on an aggravated assault charge. He does not have a bond set at this time. Both victims are expected to be okay.
Developing tonight, a prominent civil rights lawyer will represent a Temple family in a case against the Temple Police Department. Earlier this month, 40-year-old Billy Gordon died during a police welfare check. According to Temple PD, an officer tased Gordon several times within minutes of their arrival. The sister of Gordon, Stacy, confirmed with 6 News the Ben Crump law firm will represent their case. Crump has also represented the families in high-profile police-involved cases including George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, and Tyree Nichols. 6 News reached out to the law firm, but we have yet to hear back. The officer who deployed their taser is currently on paid administrative leave as police investigate their use of force.
Sad news to share. A kindergarten student at Connolly ISD has died. The district identified the student as Zahir Johnson, who attended the Early Childhood Center. Last week, the district said that one of the students was involved in an accident Wednesday evening. The district expressed its condolences to the family and is offering support for students who need age-appropriate resources. And the United States is now sending a warning to Israel not to move forward with a plan that would purposefully cut off aid supplies to northern Gaza. Israel's top military generals have put out a plan to force Palestinians to surrender or starve in North Gaza. If the plan continued, Israel would fully cut off aid and then consider anybody remaining in the area a combatant, including civilians. The U.S. is demanding more humanitarian aid be allowed into Gaza. If that is not done within 30 days, the U.S. says Israel risks losing weapons funding access.
We know it can be done. We know that the various logistical and bureaucratic obstacles can be surmounted. And so it is incumbent upon the government of Israel to surmount those challenges and get assistance in.
White House National Security spokesperson John Kirby said the ultimatum is not meant as a threat to Israel, but rather a reiteration of urgency for assistance in Gaza.
It was a special day at Baylor Scott and White McLean Children's this morning. When patients walk in, they'll now notice a new mural honoring a well-known Temple philanthropist. It's all to remember Allison Dixon, who lived with a rare form of muscular dystrophy. She died last October. Allison knew what it was like to be a child in the hospital, and that's why she wished for a third mural to be painted at Baylor Scott and White McLean Children's Medical Center in Temple.
I know that you've got a child that's walking in here that's obviously facing a very difficult time in their life, and the family and everything, and just to be able to bring that joy. And I know that's how Allison saw it. She spent a lot of days staring at hospital walls.
Well, for the last 7 years, Allison had put together an annual holiday gift drive for the kids. Baylor Scott and White is asking the community to make Allison's last wish for her holiday gift drive come true at McLean Children's. We have these details on our website at KCEN-TV.com.
A hip-hop artist is sending a message to Waco High School. It's time to go to work. The song Waco High What's Up just dropped on 107.3 The Beat today, and it's by Keystar, an artist who is from Waco and is known for music that has hyped up the Baylor athletics program and beyond. Even though he's a university high school graduate, he was asked to write a song that would motivate members of the Waco High School football team this season. Now the song is spreading around the city, and with it comes a lot of positivity.
That's something that I wake up every day inspired to push in my music and try to translate to kids, especially in our community, that anything you want to do is a possibility, and all you got to do is work hard and make a plan, and it can happen. So I wanted to give them something like that to wake up and inspire them. That's why the song is It's Time to Go to Work.
And they're buying in. You see the song is being played over the intercom at Waco High School, and you can watch the full video right now. Just go to KCEN-TV.com and click on this story. You'll enjoy it. Well, this Friday and Saturday, Cameron Park Zoo is bringing your favorite breweries to the animal kingdom. It's an adults-only event, so get a sitter for the kids and come on out. Visitors will be able to enjoy brews from several local breweries. There will also be several local food trucks offering a wide selection of delicious foods for you as well. All proceeds are going to benefit the furry and scaly, can't forget them, the scaly residents of Cameron Park Zoo will also be there Friday night with live coverage. And don't forget the shelled animals as well. Those old turtles are fantastic, those tortoises. Yes.
I'll be there Friday night.
All right.
I'm not an animal, though, by all means.
No, and you're not scaly.
No, I'm not scaly. All right, still ahead on 6 News. These lifelong friends are living proof that finding your soulmate doesn't always have to be about romance. See their amazing story.
And we hit a high of 100 degrees today. We know it was record breaking, but how much above the record for this time of year? Stick around. I'll tell you after the break.
Okay, who's your oldest friend? No, I don't mean how old they are, because I don't want you to say that about me. But
I mean,
anyway,
they're kind of old.
Yeah, thank you. Is it someone from college, someone from high school? Well, 2 Bismarck women have been friends since they were in the 7th grade. Here's the catch. They're now both 90 years old.
That means they've been friends for nearly 8 decades. The good news, their friendship is just as strong now as it was during junior high. Jody Kurtzman has their story.
Mavis Baranek and Cleo Kersey have a lot of catching up to do.
Oh, that hair.
It's been 2 weeks since they last saw each other.
It's been a long time.
An eternity for these longtime best friends.
Can't separate us.
Their friendship goes back to the 7th grade.
It would have been 78 years ago.
From junior high
There's Cleo.
to senior prom.
He was a classmate.
Weddings.
She was my maid of honor.
Babies.
Her family was like my family, and my family was like her family.
And now grandbabies and great-grandbabies.
And we always had similar clothes.
These two have tackled it all together.
My 90th birthday party.
Every 2 weeks.
Not long ago.
They meet at Rockin' 50s.
Do you remember that?
Seated in their favorite booth.
A white suit.
They share the latest gossip.
All of them.
Popcorn. And chocolate sodas.
Yep.
The chocolate sodas are a trip down memory lane. They taste just like the ones Mavis's dad used to buy them as a special treat.
This was our favorite. Chocolate soda.
Now these chocolate sodas are a sweet excuse for these old friends to get together.
She talks more than I do, so I just have to listen.
They talk about what's new.
And we had a lot to clean up.
And about what's old.
How many in our class? We run out of things to talk about that are happening now, then we go back 70 years and talk.
Mavis and Cleo have always had a lot in common.
We both grew 2 inches in high school.
They say as they age, the list gets longer.
She had a heart attack. I had a heart attack. Then I don't know what else happened, but it seems like we kind of do the same things too. We can't separate ourselves. She says she can't remember fun things we used to do. I have to remind her.
And their decades-long friendship,
And that was a long time ago.
is a reminder of the value of a good friend.
Oh, that looks like us.
Incredible story. Mavis and Cleo plan to spend eternity by each other's sides as well. They are planning to be buried in the local veteran cemetery when the time comes together. I just found out y'all haven't had chocolate sodas before. They are knowing what is good in life.
I need to do that. Let's get things over to Aviana Smith. You ever had a chocolate soda, Aviana?
Never even heard of it until now.
Well,
So
Take it from Mavis and Cleo.
Yeah, those ladies know how to live, so they're recommending it for
I'm saying they're doing something right. They 90 years old, still drinking them. So I might have to try them out, Chris and Bailey. But let's get into the weather because we hit a high of 100 degrees. Maybe a chocolate soda would have been refreshing today with those temperatures so high, still rising above the average for this time of year and breaking records once again today. We are above the record by 5 degrees with a record high of 95. We were slightly near the average there with a temperature of 56, nearly doubled from our start of the morning to the afternoon there as those temperatures were on the rise. And even through the night right now, we're still staying fairly warm. 80 degrees right now in Hillsboro. We're looking at Temple at 79, 81 degrees in College Station, and 76 degrees right now in Lampasas. So we're seeing temperatures cool for sure, but still a bit on the warm side because we'll see those overnight lows continue to drop. But why have we been so warm? That's because a ridge of high pressure was building in over our area. It's going to stall out by Wednesday before that ridge continues to flatten as that Omega block pattern set up over us for Wednesday night. We have high pressure in the center with low pressure out towards the west and the east, and it's called a Omega block pattern because it represents the Omega Greek symbol. It's the same signage as it, but luckily for us, we will see that ridge of high pressure flatten, welcoming in some cooler temps as we step through the rest of the week. Finally, we're going to get that fall-like feel, even dropping below the average, a big temperature drop into tomorrow as we await that cold front pushing through tonight. 73 degrees for your high on Wednesday, 76 for your high on Thursday, 82 degrees for Friday, and don't forget Brew at the Zoo is underway, and I will actually be out there live for your weather forecast, so come join me and make sure you say hello. We're going to hang on to 82 degrees for Friday and Saturday. A beautiful weekend shaping up as we return to temperatures near the average for this time of year, but we are going to get that push of cold air as we await that cold front system crossing our area, already beginning to move in for our more northern counties there. You see where that front is positioned, and it's picking up the winds right now as well, as along with gusty conditions. 30-mile-per-hour wind gusts already near Hillsboro right now, 17-mile-per-hour wind gusts in Mahia. We're going to continue to see those winds pick up for the remainder of the night, potentially even up to 40-mile-per-hour wind gusts as we approach 3 a.m. this morning. So if you haven't already, make sure you secure your outdoor items. You don't want any of your Halloween decorations blowing away in the wind. We're going to hang on to those gusty conditions throughout the rest of Wednesday as well, with wind gusts remaining between about 20 to 30 miles per hour. So as we step through the rest of the week, again, we're going to cool off, finally getting that fall-like feel all of us have been waiting for. For tomorrow and Thursday, we are going to be in the mid to low 70s, low 80s return by Friday. But check out those morning lows. We're talking mid to upper 40s. Jacket weather is definitely upon us there. And then we're going to kind of get more comfortable as we head into the weekend. Finally, those temperatures that all of us have been looking for. But the great news is we're going to stay sunny. Not a lot of rainfall in the forecast, but also the bad news is the rain is still needed as we have dry conditions present across our area. So we're not going to see any rain anytime soon, but that is still okay because it's going to be beautiful weather for all of us to enjoy those fall festivities. And remember, you can always catch us streaming on our 6 Plus app. You can find us on your Roku, Fire TV, or Apple TV. So make sure you download the app. And here's a slate to help you kind of direct you to where you need to go.
We know in today's world you want the news on your time, and that's why we have the 6 Plus app available on Roku, Fire Stick, and Apple Plus.
It has all the local news you want on your time. Maybe you want to see the latest 6 Fix, a Verify report, or stream our newscast. You can do it on 6 Plus.
So how do you find it? Well, first search KCEN on either your Roku, Amazon Fire Stick, or Apple TV device. From there, just download it, and you're ready to go. Just remember, you'll need to search for our call letters. That's KCEN.
If you need to see all those instructions again, no problem. We have a step-by-step guide at KCEN-TV.com. You'll see it right on the homepage. So there you have it. Go download the 6 Plus app now
to start streaming all that great content.
It may not be 2007, but it's important to always learn from history. Look up that season, kids, as we navigate through a potentially once-in-a-generation level of chaos once again this college football season. Texas A&M is well aware of the trend sweeping the nation. On paper, A&M shouldn't have any trouble at Mississippi State. They're number 14 in the country, 14.5-point favorite, but Mississippi State has been better the past few weeks, and still a lot to be desired, though. However, anything can happen. Just look at 2 years ago. The Bulldogs blew out the Aggies, but probably a better example, 2021, just before A&M upset number 1 Alabama, they lost to the Dogs at home.
What makes this league different is challenges like this. This is going to be a rowdy, hostile environment. They're going to be full of energy. It's going to be a really, really difficult place to play on Saturday. And you just don't have that top to bottom in every single league like you do in the SEC.
On the other end of the spectrum, things haven't gone the way Dave Aranda would draw up, but there is still plenty of time to shock the world this year in their respective conference, the Big 12. Bears have lost 8 straight conference games dating back to last season. Has been disappointing, but many of Baylor's goals still on the table. Just 4 losses to this point. They come out of their bye week with the trip to Texas Tech this weekend.
Whatever noise there is, whatever critique, however justified, I think on one side of it, you understand, and then the other side of it, you know, that's just there's no place for that right here. All we can control is what's right in front of us, and this play, this particular series, this group period, this team period. And so to focus on the focus is a big emphasis. And I think when you do that, you recognize the talent and the skill that you have and what's possible. And I know our guys still feel that. I can feel the energy. They don't have to use their words as much as just kind of how hard they play and the energy that's out there when they're going.
Our game of the week for week 8 of Friday Night Lights, undefeated Rudder, 6-0, trying to match a program best with 7 wins on the year, taking on the Brenham Cubs and their star running back, sophomore sensation Jacoby Dixon. Join us Friday night after 6 News at 10 for Friday Night Lights. And this week, as we alluded to with weather, we might finally be able to enjoy some new fall temperatures, but autumn isn't the only new season, hopefully, on the way. Baylor basketball is just around the corner. The men come in ranked number 8 in the preseason poll, while the ladies just outside the top 10 after nearly advancing to the Elite 8 in March. Baylor starts off as the number 12 team in the country. Head coach Nikki Collin back for her 4th season. Bears return nearly everyone in their rotation, with the notable exceptions of Dreana Edwards and Asia Blackwell. Here's where the Bears stack up in the rest of the league. Iowa State number 8, so Baylor the number 2 team in the Big 12. After them, K-State, West Virginia, TCU, and Utah also just outside the top 25 receiving votes. And that's going to do it for sports.
All righty, welcome back in. Here's a check of your bus stop forecast. As we get the kids out the door to school tomorrow, it will be a cool start out there for us in those mid to low 50s. So jacket weather to start the day. You can really keep a light jacket with you all day long because we're going to have a cold front system push through, bringing us some colder air for tomorrow. It's going to be comfortable around lunchtime at 64 degrees, and a pleasant afternoon of weather awaits us with a high of 73. Your eyes are not deceiving you. I really mean it's going to be 73 degrees tomorrow for our high. I know we just hit a high of 100, a big temperature drop on the way, but finally seeing those fall temperatures.
I said last night I was going to hold you to this.
Yes, and here it is, Bailey.
You're delivering.
Aviana, I made notes. You started today at 56, and it got to 100.
Yes, that's
I like this starting at 56 tomorrow, getting to 73 pretty good.
I agree with you, Chris.
All right, we've had some crazy stories to talk about, but our last story tonight's pretty black and white. That's because we're talking about panda bears.
Yep, a brand new panda cam just made its debut today. The San Diego Zoo is running a 24/7 panda cam to track the boisterous activities of their 4 giant pandas. Viewers from anywhere in the world, including you, Central Texas, can watch as the pandas tumble, climb, explore, nap, explore some more, and munch on bamboo.
That looks like me up right.
That'd be me.
Yeah,
Okay.